Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
I'm Tim Stenevec along with Carol Masser. Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. With us is Bloomberg News equities reporter Avalon Purnell. How are you?
Good. How are y'all?
We're doing well. A lot to choose from today.
Yeah.
Kind of a funny trade.
Even though the overall markets were mellow, there were some stocks that moved up and down a lot.
Yes. No, healthcare was
moves.
really busy today. We can start off with Compass Pathways. So not sure if you know about this stock, but those shares jumped as much as 51% today. It actually helped the stock turn positive this year before it was down around 16%. And it's all because of some good data. Compass is one of the leading psychedelic drug companies currently out. And they released some positive data for its psilocybin-based mental health treatment. And the drug met all of the key goals. So we'll see what happens next because they still have a couple of hoops to jump through with the FDA, but it's a good sign.
This is the one, haven't we talked to the
Yeah,
leader?
we have. And
It's pretty cool.
I would say I have a friend who works in this industry. She's a healthcare provider. And she started out as a nurse, and now she's a nurse practitioner who just focuses on mental health treatment with these types of medications. She swears by it.
The game changer, right?
Yeah.
I think these are the kind of thing they're thinking too for addictions and so on and so forth. But it's been a long journey, so this is another big step forward. So, all right, ticker CMPS, and as you said, quite a big move in the share price today, up about 31%. All right, what's next?
Yeah, what's next would be Masimo. That's ticker MASI. That stock also soared about 35% today after Danaher agreed to buy the firm for $180 per share. And what I found to be kind of interesting about this is that Danaher is actually more of a diagnostics firm, but Masimo is a med tech company. And so analysts see this as a move closer towards med tech, just so that it's a more defensive area of healthcare, especially considering Danaher has been hit pretty hard by cuts in healthcare funding, especially from NIH grants. So this could be a good move in the right direction for them.
Yeah, I feel like healthcare, right, in all its iterations,
And-
like there's still a lot of movement and like link ups and so on. What?
And I think people would be familiar with Masimo Corporation because of the Apple headlines from last year, the year before, the court settlement that happened a few months ago. So it was fun. It was kind of interesting to see that headline out there today.
Yeah.
This company's been like a David and Goliath story.
So definitely one of my gainers.
Yeah.
It was earlier too. So MASI, as you said, definitely on the move here. And no surprise, as a target of an M&A deal, that went up about 34%.
Okay, what's another one?
Yeah, we can end up with NVIDIA, which jumped nearly 2% in post-market trading after Meta said it plans to deploy millions of its chips over the next few years. I kind of found this one also to be interesting since the two companies aren't putting an exact dollar figure on the commitment, but it is another example of how we're seeing big tech continue to push further into the chip space and really making continued investments in AI.
Well, the circular financing or the whiteboard, like continuing. But it is, this is where you kind of continue to see the demand, right? And it just kind of feeds into it in a big way.
NVIDIA shares up by more than 1% after hours as we speak. And the company out with earnings next Wednesday, I believe, after market. That's the last of the Mag 7 to report.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting, right, this loyalty, right, these relationships, because you do see that there are maybe some companies maybe looking elsewhere, or could there be at some point some competition to NVIDIA? They definitely have the first mover advantage at this point, but to see NVIDIA and Meta's link up, it's an important one.
Do we have time to talk about Cheerios?
Oh, can we go there?
We could definitely go there. So
From chips to
From
cereal.
chips to Carol's lunch every day.
It is. No, it's part of my breakfast.
Oh, breakfast, sorry.
Yeah, peanuts are my lunch.
Peanuts for lunch.
Breakfast and lunch of champions. Let's talk about General Mills.
Yes,
GIS, right?
yes, GIS, General Mills, it was down about 7% into the close after the company reported less than expected to say news. The consumers are still continuing to be stressed, and they're not really going after these consumer goods that you could just get across the counter. They are sinking on that news.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.